See him a beast when he hear that sound like yeah, beat on the beat when he hear that sound like woo. Yeah, bitch and the champ only need one round like ha. Yeah, me, I'm a G bring heat in the sound like.
Hey everybody, Jake Noecker here and fighting at Cage Fury 118 on April 1st. Joining me today, somebody I owe an interview because I'll explain in a second, I'm an idiot. Joe, the Juggernaut. Schick, Joe, my man. Again, sorry, I was in your gym. Didn't know you had a fight book because I'm an amateur, but how you doing, dude?
Good, man, good.
Like about 2 weeks out from the fight, energy starting to get there? You starting to feel it?
Yeah, I'm ready to go. I'm trying to, amp up some last-minute training and peak at the right time.
And you train Dante Rivera BJJ. I was in there a couple weeks ago. Beautiful gym. You have like 5 guys on the card and 117, the doubleheader. So busy time in that gym right now. I can kind of answer this because I was in there, but for those that weren't, tell us a little bit about the energy when you have so many guys in fight camp.
I mean, all my teammates are high energy no matter what. Keeping people ready, keeping guys ready for fights. And it's good to have a bunch of guys fighting at the same time. That way, the energy is pretty level across the board. And everyone's ready to spar, step up, and help each other out. Whenever someone needs it. And like I said, it's best when everyone's, we got a couple guys on the same card, so the energy level is always high, and everyone's trying to get better all the time and help each other get better. So it's a great atmosphere to be in.
I mean, we have yourself, Nick Galanti, Jerry Leshy, Eric Nolan, Luke Fernandez. I'm sure I'm forgetting somebody. You guys are all on that Cage Fury doubleheader. So stacked. Dante Rivera is coming out to represent.
Yeah, I mean, we always do. We always try to get a couple guys on the same card, just, make it easier for Dante. He's got like 30 guys that are, fighting amateur or pro, and to keep everyone busy, sometimes you got to have 2, 3, 4 guys on the same card. So it's nice to have that too in the locker room, and all the coaches are there help and support, and the energy is high from start to finish, through camp all the way through fight night. So.
And the night I was in there, man, it was sparring night. Woo, you got to throw down.
Yeah, it gets a little heated sometimes, but at the end of the day, once you step out of that cage, it kind of settles down. Everyone's there to do the same thing. People get frustrated. I get frustrated at times. You may have a bad day here and there, and but whether it's a bad day or not, everyone's there to help each other to get better. And if you're having a bad day, you're still going to learn something. So it's always good to, and you have to have bad days sometimes to keep your energy going.
Yeah. Now, who are your main guys at Dante's? Like who are the guys that you train with most?
I spar and train with Tim Dueling, who's coming up and fighting, a veteran, but fighting in a tournament. I spar with Phil Caracappa, who's a UFC Contender Series vet. Jerry Leshy, we spar. Efren, Danny Esposito, and we'll train. We'll do all types of guys too. Like, it doesn't matter for me. I'll fight or spar or train with people that are heavier or lighter. It doesn't matter. You get a little different view every time. And the little guys are fun to spar too, because I'm at 135, but the 25ers are nice to spar with too, because they're quick.
Yeah.
And they're high energy, high pace all the time.
Tim Dueling, first time I ever saw him or really even heard of him was the other night when I was in there. Dude, he's exciting. He throws the whole freaking bag at you, man.
Oh yeah, you gotta be ready for him. Yeah, he does all the fancy cool stuff. Doesn't always land it, but he when he lands it, it's fun, it's cool. You kind of like look back and you just smile at him, and he'll look at you and be like, "Got you on that one," So, and he's exciting. He's a vet, fought the top guys in the area, in the region, and he'll be coming up fighting in the middle of April for a big tournament down in Georgia. So
Yeah, I love Dantes Squad. Shout out your guys' whole gym. I was gonna wear the shirt, but it's in my hamper because I wore it to the gym yesterday. Because I'm still repping. Do you train anywhere else, or is it just Dantes?
no, just Dante's. You know, he's a UFC vet. You know, all the coaches there are on hands all the time. And he knows what he's doing. He's been in the game a long time. So, you know, I trust him with all aspects of my game. And you know, so I don't really have to go anywhere else. And everyone there has different tool bags that they can, you know, reach into. And I learn from everyone, from the amateur that hasn't fought yet to, you know, to Dante, who's been, like I said, around the game for a long time.
And I mean, there's some big names that step through those doors at Dante's. Francis Marshall, I believe Frankie Edgar comes in every now and then. Like, amazing top quality gym. And you're prepping there for the big fight, April 1st, CFFC 118. You're taking on Pooch, Thomas Picciano. I think that's how you say his last name. I saw him fight at 116, and I know he was at like Tiger Muay Thai for some of this camp. He's a very talented Muay Thai fighter, exciting guy. How do you feel about him as an opponent?
Yeah, I mean, I my coaches do a lot of the tape review and look at him and you know, I looked at him, but ultimately I don't like to change my game too much depending on the opponent, just because if I'm worried about what they're doing, I'm not fighting my fight. And you know, so I do keep in the back of my mind of what they're doing, but or what he's doing and what he's training and what he's good at. But at the end of the day, you're going to resort to what you're good at while you're in a fight, you know, the heat of the moment. And so I like to keep my eye set on the goal of just going in there, fighting, doing my thing, and you know, good things will happen.
So I know you said you let your coaches do a lot of the tape work here, but we know your style, and I just said he's kind of a Muay Thai guy. How do you think stylistically you two match up against each other?
I mean, I think stylistically we're pretty good. I mean, he's Muay Thai is on your feet. You know, you watched the last couple of my fights. I've definitely improved upon him on my feet. Ultimately, I'm a wrestler. He's a wrestler too. So I think it should be a pretty good fight. You know.
You got a prediction? How do you think it goes down?
I'm thinking a finish at some point for me. I don't see it going into the third round, but so probably first or second round finish, whether it's standing on the ground, doesn't matter to me. Wherever it goes, I'll take it.
And you know, you're a Cage Fury guy. What are your thoughts on 2300 Arena? Because I love it there. Can't wait to get back in there.
Yeah, I fought 2300 Arena probably 5 times in my career, both amateur and pro. I like the venue. It's small, but it's everyone's on top of you. It's tight. It's loud.
Yep.
They pack people in there, and the fans are right on top of the cage, so
It's right
you can hear the energy. You can feel the energy. And like I said, I fought there like 5 or 6 times or something like that. So I'm familiar with the venue and how it goes. It's a good, loud, small venue that people can get into.
It's a very like intimate sort of atmosphere. Like someone gets punched, you could get some blood on you. It's a good time. And sorry, I lost my spot there. There we go. 5-fight win streak if you get the dub here, man. That's a lot. And as a pro, not like you're an amateur and you're in a big promotion in Cage Fury. What's next if you get the dub, dude? Like, are you looking at the big leagues at all?
Yeah, I mean, I spoke with my coaches. Obviously, I'm taking one fight at a time, so I have to, you know, I'm gonna, you know, get my hand raised here at CFFC 118 on April 1st, and then once I get that done, then we can go on to bigger and better things. But I told my coach, you know, I'm at the tail end of my career. I'm 37 years old. Um, I I'll be on a 5-fight win streak. So I told him, you know, if there's nothing on a big show, that's the only thing I want to do. If when I win this. I'm on a 5-fight win streak, and I want a big show. That's it. Let's see where that takes me. But
So, I mean, it's, what is it, March? It'll be April 1st when you get that win. Contender Series comes along July, August. Is that kind of something you're looking at?
yeah, I mean, Contender Series is always an option. And Dante fought for the UFC, so I think he can, get me on the Contender Series, and I'll be glad to fight there and show my skills. And if I get a contract, I do. If I don't, then I'll evaluate from there. But the goal is something big after this fight.
So I know you just said that. Maybe I should have asked this before, but I'm still curious because the co-main event of the card you're on is for the Bantamweight Championship of Cage Fury. I know you're pretty much stone set on the big leagues. That's your thing. I'm calling it the big leagues. Cage Fury is the big leagues too. But does that title ever interest you ever, or not really want to move on?
I mean, if they offered me the fight after this fight, after winning and being on the 5-fight win streak, 4 of the wins being on CFFC, and they offer me, I'll take it. But that's ultimately, it's a big show. But I mean, if you're fighting for the title for CFFC, that's a big show too, like you said. So I would absolutely 100% take it. But if something else comes along before that, I gotta weigh my options and see what the offers are.
Yeah, absolutely, man. And you mentioned you think you're at the tail end of your career, 37 years old. Again, Glover Teixeira just won a championship at 42, so you might have a lot longer than you think left, my friend. But anyways, how do you envision the rest of your career going? If everything goes your way, the way you want it to, what does the rest of your career look like?
Honestly, I haven't really thought about it. I mean, if it goes the way I planned for this fight, get the W, get maybe a title shot at CFFC, maybe Contender Series, or maybe someone else sees me and picks me up. I mean, 5-fight win streak is a big deal, in my opinion. But I also have a wife and 4 kids at home. I'm a vice principal of a middle school, so like I have a career, also like in the education field, and my kids are getting bigger, and they're going to be doing things like sports activities and stuff like that I want to be around for. I don't want to just be there, just a body just there. Sometimes I want to be there all the time for them. So that's why I say it's at the tail end of my career, just because I don't want to be selfish for myself. And I want to give back to my kids, just like they deal with it. Especially in training camp, like being away from home. Like I go from work at my school to training right away. I don't get home until 10:30, sometimes 11. So there's days where I don't see my kids. So I want to be there to see them grow up too.
It's a good segue into my next question, because I ask everybody this. I like to know about you guys as a person rather than just a fighter. So tell me a little bit more about your hobbies and interests and just life in general outside of the cage. Like, tell me a little bit about Joe the person, so to speak, instead of Joe the fighter.
Yeah, I mean, I'm a big family guy. I like to be around my family, spend time with my family. I like the outdoors. I like hunting, fishing, any sporting event outside is my thing. When I'm not fighting, and I like to get my kids involved too, just to give them different avenues of growing up. Not only just doing different sports activities, but I live in Tom's River, so my kid does a sailing club in the summer. My kids do Boy Scouts and getting into wrestling and football but I also like to be outside with my family. I'm just I like to include everyone. But hunting and fishing are my other big hobbies outside of fighting. And that's
When's
I'll be able to do that.
When's trout season opening day in Jersey?
April 1st.
Okay, same in PA. So almost, brother, almost.
Although I won't go out opening day because I'm fighting, but
Oh yeah, that's your fight day. I won't be fit. Maybe I'll get out that morning. We'll see, because I'll also be there that night. But I'm not fighting, so I can go out that morning. Another interesting thing that you brushed over here. You're a vice principal, and I only say that's interesting because you're a fighter. And my vice principal in middle school absolutely hated the wrestling team. So, man, where were you when I was in middle school? And how do you balance being a vice principal and then kicking people's ass in the octagon?
it's definitely tough. I'm busy from the time I get to school to the time I leave. And I get to work early. I'm at work at my desk at 6:15, answering emails, returning phone calls, getting ready for the day-to-day operations of running a middle school. And balancing that, the main thing for me is that once I leave here, I try to leave it at the building. I don't try to bring it home because I have training for a fight. I have family at home. So that there's tons of there's enough that I have to do outside of school that I just try to leave it all here. Just like I leave my home stuff at home, work stays at work. And I'm a big advocate. If I don't get it done, it'll be there tomorrow. As far as work goes. So, it is tough at times if I have a bad day or I got kids, discipline issues at home or at school. It's just some days are better than others, but being able to balance it and leave it at work is important.
So in the day and age of the internet, I'm sure it's impossible for the children not to know this, but do the kids at your school know you're a fighter, and what do they think about that?
Yeah, they'll walk around the school and they'll be like, "What's up, Mr. Schick, the Juggernaut?" And I just like smile and laugh. It's cool that they get it. Like they'll watch it. They haven't bought tickets or anything, but the kids they'll watch it together, or they'll see like stuff on Instagram or something like. So they get it. They're like, oh, here comes the Juggernaut. Watch out. I have a respect with them so that they understand, like, I like to joke around. I'm not serious all the time. And I'm not like, if you called into my office, you're not always in trouble.
Sure.
And I like to get to know them as human beings also, so that they're able to joke around with me. And like, as long as they're respectful, I'm respectful with them. They're cool. So yeah, they know.
That's awesome, man. And it sounds like you're an absolutely great role model for these kids too. Like I said, if I would have called my vice principal the Juggernaut, I would have been in their office for discipline. So it's good to hear that those kids have you as a role model.
Yeah, they definitely say, like, out of respect, and like, they're all respectful, and they know, like, if they're in trouble, they need to,
Sure,
behave. But
yeah, shaping out kids. So speaking of your support network, your school, family, friends, Dantes, your fans, everybody. Last thing for you here, Joe. Anything you'd like to say to everyone you haven't had the chance to? The mic is yours.
just wanted to, shout out, thanks to my sponsors, Represent Your Fight, sponsor me, Swift Electrical, Thrive, Boss HVAC. They're all there to support me, including, my teammates are the best team around. Coaches, same thing, best coaches in the game. And special thanks to my fans who come to my fights, my family that supports me and helps me, keep my home life together while I'm training, is important. People that come in and help watch my kids, or like, especially my wife. But there's a big support system that all work together to allow me to do this. So I'm grateful for that.
Well, let me just say thank you again for joining me, and I will certainly be in that support network on April 1st, cheering you on from the stands, my man. Can't wait.
All right. Thank you, brother.
Of course. And everybody go follow Joe. Make sure you tune in. UFC Fight Pass, April 1st, Cage Fury 118. Joe Schick gets that dub on a 5-fight win streak. Joe, my man, go teach the kids, go do your thing. And thank you again.
All right. Thank you, brother.